My child, listen now, and do not rush past this moment, because what is unfolding here is not merely a message, but a turning point, the kind that quietly separates the life you have been surviving from the life you are about to step into. And before your mind tries to analyze or doubt or compare, let your heart stay open for just a little longer, because I am closer to you than the thoughts racing through your head, closer than the breath you just took without realizing it, closer than the fear that has been sitting in your chest pretending to be practical. And I want you to know first and foremost that you have never been invisible to me. Not on the days you felt strong and confident, and certainly not on the nights you lay awake wondering why everything feels heavier for you than it seems to be for others. Because I have seen the way you smile in public while carrying storms in private. I have seen how you show up for others even when you feel empty yourself. And I have seen the quiet strength it takes to keep going when no one is clapping, no one is encouraging, and no one seems to notice the effort it costs you just to stand back up. And if you are honest with yourself, you know the struggle I am speaking about, the one where you wake up already tired, where motivation feels like a language you used to speak fluently, but now only remember in fragments, where you wonder if you missed your chance or if life somehow moved on without waiting for you. And this struggle is not a sign of weakness. It is evidence that you care deeply, that you have dreams larger than your current circumstances, and that your soul refuses to settle for a small, numb existence, even when your mind begs you to play safe, to lower your expectations, to stop hoping so much. And yet, here you are, still listening, still searching, still wanting more from life than mere survival. And that tells me everything I need to know about who you truly are. I know the emotions you have been wrestling with, the frustration of trying again and again, only to feel like you are standing in the same place, the quiet jealousy you feel when you see others moving forward while you feel stuck, the guilt that follows because you think you should be happy for them, the shame of feeling behind in a world that constantly measures worth by speed, success, and visible achievement, and the exhaustion of carrying expectations that were never even yours to begin with, expectations placed on you by family, society, comparisons, and your own inner critic that speaks to you in a voice that sounds like logic but feels like punishment. And you may have started to believe that something is wrong with you, that maybe you are not disciplined enough, not talented enough, not chosen enough, not lucky enough. But listen carefully now, because this is where the truth begins to cut through the noise. Nothing is wrong with you. Nothing about your pace is a mistake. Nothing about your sensitivity is a flaw. And nothing about your past disqualifies you from a powerful future. Because growth does not always look like constant motion. Sometimes it looks like endurance. Sometimes it looks like learning how to breathe under pressure. Sometimes it looks like staying soft in a world that keeps trying to harden you. And sometimes it looks like falling apart just enough to finally let go of what was never meant to define you. Think about how many times you kept going when it would have been easier to quit. How many times you showed courage not by roaring, but by simply getting up one more time. How many silent battles you have already won that no one ever celebrated. And ask yourself honestly, if you were truly weak, would you still be here listening to a message about transformation? Would you still feel that quiet pull inside you that says there must be more? Would you still care enough to feel this deeply? And the answer is no. Because weak hearts do not ache for purpose, they do not hunger for meaning, and they do not feel this restless desire to rise beyond circumstances. And this is where the breakthrough begins, not with sudden success or external validation, but with a shift inside you. The moment you stop fighting yourself and start understanding yourself. The moment you realize that your struggle has been shaping you, not punishing you. That every delay has been teaching you patience, discernment, and resilience. That every disappointment has been refining your vision, showing you what truly matters and what was only noise. And that every tear you cried in silence was watering seeds you could not yet see. There comes a moment, often quietly, when something inside you clicks, when you realize that waiting does not mean wasted, that healing does not mean broken, and that taking your time does not mean falling behind. And in that moment, you begin to stand differently. You begin to breathe differently. You begin to look at your life not as a series of failures, but as a training ground for strength you are just now beginning to access. And this is where you stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What is this building in me?" Because the truth is, the pressure you have felt has been preparing you to hold more responsibility, more influence, more impact, more joy, and more abundance than you once thought possible. And if everything had come easily, you would not have developed the depth, empathy, and inner authority you are now quietly carrying. Let me remind you of something powerful. Your value has never been dependent on your productivity, your income, your achievements, or other people's approval. You mattered before you ever proved anything, and you will continue to matter long after today's struggles fade into lessons. And when you truly accept this, something shifts. You stop chasing worth and start walking in it. You stop begging for validation and start building conviction. You stop shrinking to fit into places that cannot contain your growth, and you start honoring the rhythm of your own becoming. And yes, there will still be hard days. There will still be moments of doubt, but they will no longer define you, because you will understand that emotions are visitors, not rulers, and that confidence is not the absence of fear, but the decision to move forward despite it. Now feel this next part deeply, because this is your victory being born. You are not late, you are not forgotten, and you are not overlooked. You are being positioned, and when the moment comes, the momentum will surprise even you, because everything you have been learning in obscurity will suddenly make sense in the light. Every skill you developed quietly, every habit you built without applause, every boundary you learned to set, and every time you chose integrity over shortcuts will come together, and you will realize that you were never standing still, you were gathering strength. And when you step forward now, you will do so with clarity, humility, and power, not rushed, not desperate, but grounded, focused, and unstoppable. And the life ahead of you will not be perfect, but it will be honest, aligned, and deeply fulfilling, because it will be built by someone who knows their worth, honors their journey, and trusts the process that shaped them. So walk forward now, not with pressure, but with purpose, not with fear, but with faith in your own growth, not trying to prove anything to anyone, but committed to becoming everything you are capable of being, because the strength you have been searching for outside has been forming inside you all along. And today is not just another day, it is a line in the sand, the day you stop surviving and start rising, the day you stop doubting and start deciding. My child, pause right now, just for a moment before you move forward, and allow the inner voice that has always pushed you to hurry, to prove yourself, and to stay guarded to finally grow quiet. Because what I am about to tell you is not a collection of motivational words, nor is it simple comfort. It is a truth that has been hidden beneath every breath of your life. Something you have felt for a long time, but never quite found the language to hold. Listen carefully. In the moments when you feel unseen, that is when I see you most clearly. In the moments when you believe your voice has disappeared, that is when I hear even the softest rhythm of your heart. I am not far from you. I am as close as your breath, closer than your thoughts, deeper than your fears. And when you sit down exhausted, when you feel like there is no strength left to keep going, you are still not alone, because I have never left you, not even for a single moment. You may have called yourself weak many times. You may have been angry with yourself, judged yourself with harsh words, but in my eyes, you were never a burden, never incomplete, never lacking. I do not hold you because of your achievements. My love is not attached to your successes. My love is bound to your existence itself. You are loved because you are, because you breathe. My compassion rests over you. And if today you feel a heaviness inside, as if a stone is resting on your heart that you do not have the strength to remove, do not force yourself. Do not try to drop everything at once. Just give me one corner, one small space, and notice how even a little lightening of the load changes your breath, how your chest begins to open, how your mind grows quiet for a moment. Your journey was never meant to be perfect. It is a journey of courage, of rising after falling, of walking again after exhaustion. And every step you take with honesty, with truth, with hope, brings you closer to the person you are becoming, closer to the form I saw long ago. Do not fear the unknown, because where the path looks dark to you, I am already present, even if you cannot see the light. My presence is forming the ground beneath your feet. The earth rises to support you, not to make you fall. And remember this, gentleness is not weakness. Your softness is a strength I placed within you deliberately. Your sensitivity is not a flaw. It is healing for others and for yourself, and it is a reflection of my own heart. When your thoughts scatter, when your mind grows tired wandering in a closed room, come back to me. It does not require effort. Only slow your breath and allow my peace to settle over you, like a warm golden light filling a room at the end of a long day. The world may measure you by your work, judge you by your results, but I hold you simply because you exist. Your worth is not fragile. It cannot be broken by anyone's opinion. It is rooted in me, and no one can take it away. You are allowed to move slowly. You are allowed to heal slowly. You are allowed to move forward even while unfinished. No stage of your process makes you less precious to me. When you feel broken, you are still not beyond repair, because I restore the places that cannot be seen. I heal the wounds you never spoke about. I understand the sorrows you hid behind a smile. There is nothing within you that is beyond my restoring hands. The parts of yourself you dislike, the parts you feel ashamed of, the parts you run from, I see beauty there. I see light beneath your doubts. I recognize strength in what you call weakness. When you cry quietly with no witness, I am there, holding every tear, understanding every unspoken word. Nothing that has hurt you has escaped my sight. So allow today to be a little softer. Do not pressure yourself. Breathe without force, because even in stillness you are growing. Even in peace the work continues. When you pass through trials, do not see them as punishment. Sometimes the storm itself is the path that leads you to an open field you never imagined. Stay with me in the wind, because I have placed gifts within you that you have not yet fully recognized. Do not see yourself as small. At the right time, it will all rise from within you like light. Forgive yourself for not knowing everything sooner. You are opening, layer by layer, and I have endless patience for every chapter of your becoming. When people do not understand you, I still understand you completely, and this truth is what holds you today and will continue to hold you always.